Have you ever found yourself nestled in your bed in the quiet hours of the night, surrounded by the deep slumber of the world, only to feel that persistent nudge urging you to rise once more and make that familiar journey across the cool floor to the bathroom? If this resonates with your experience, please know that you are far from alone. My friend Mr. David from the vibrant city of London shared a similar struggle, and Mrs. Susan from New York recounted how she constantly reset her alarm clock, not because an alarm was set, but because her nights were punctuated by these unwelcome awakenings. Hello, dear friends. I am Dr. Emily Roberts, hailing from Toronto, and today I invite you to join me on a compassionate journey. Together, we'll gently unravel the enigma of nighttime urination, a quiet yet profoundly impactful factor in the quality of life for those of us gracefully navigating our 60s and beyond. It's a common misconception, isn't it, that waking up to urinate is just an inevitable part of growing older. Many believe it's simply a natural progression. However, scientific evidence paints a different picture, revealing that a significant percentage of seniors in Western countries, upwards of 78%, are unknowingly engaging in a handful of seemingly minor daily habits. These habits, subtly yet powerfully, nudge the kidneys to work against their natural rhythm, disrupting the most precious commodity of the night, deep, restorative sleep. The encouraging news, my dear friends, is that you don't need complicated medications to address these imbalances. With just a few simple, well-timed adjustments to your routine, you can rediscover the profound joy of a peaceful, uninterrupted night's sleep. Now let us begin. For in just a few days, you might awaken feeling a sense of rejuvenation you never thought possible. There's a deeply ingrained belief among many elders in Western countries that waking up multiple times each night to urinate is merely a byproduct of advancing years. However, in the realm of medicine, this condition has a name: nocturia, and it is, unequivocally, not a natural or unavoidable aspect of aging. Rather, it serves as a gentle whisper from your body, suggesting that certain daily habits might be out of sync. Mr. Robert, a 73-year-old from Phoenix, used to wake up 4 to 5 times every night. He initially thought it was just old age, but gradually his health declined. He felt exhausted, his memory weakened, and he nearly slipped in the bathroom one night. These repeated incidents can have serious consequences. Medical studies confirm that interrupted sleep from nocturia reduces deep sleep, especially REM sleep, where your brain strengthens memory and your body repairs itself. Without this, your body gets tired, your immune system weakens, you get sick more often, and your mood can become unstable. These broken nights are silent enemies of healing and rejuvenation. But here, my dear friends, is where the encouraging news shines through. In an overwhelming majority of cases, over 80%, nocturia is not a harbinger of a serious underlying illness. Instead, it stems from very specific, often overlooked, daily habits. Consider the timing of your evening meal, the quantity of liquids you consume in the hours before bed, or even the subtle influence of your bedroom's temperature. The truly beautiful aspect is that all of these factors are entirely within your ability to adjust. After years of working closely with countless elders, from the sunny coasts of California to the snowy plains of Canada, we have meticulously identified 5 key habits that frequently act as triggers for nocturia. When you make a conscious effort to adjust these habits, doing so in the right way, your body naturally begins to re-establish its delicate balance, and the dream of peaceful, uninterrupted sleep becomes not just a possibility, but a tangible reality once again. In the sections that follow, I will share each of these habits in meticulous detail, guiding you on how to gently, naturally, and seamlessly integrate these changes into your life. So, please, remain with me on this enlightening journey. Habit 1. The timing of your evening sips and bites. Many assume avoiding water right before bed is enough, but the reality is more nuanced. In many Western households, dinner is often followed by warm soup, fruit for dessert, and perhaps a warm cup of herbal tea before sleep. These seemingly healthy choices can be the quiet culprits behind frequent nighttime awakenings. Let me tell you about Mrs. Margaret Lewis, 72, from Boston. For years, she woke up 4 to 5 times nightly. She tried everything, from avoiding water after 9 p.m. to considering bladder surgery. Nothing worked. She said, "I felt like a night watchman guarding my own bladder." After consulting with me, Dr. Emily Roberts, Mrs. Margaret discovered something surprising. Her comforting evening broth and lavender tea were pressuring her bladder. I guided her to create a liquid cutoff time 3 hours before bedtime. From then on, she limited all water-rich items, warm milk, fruits, soups, and even popsicles. Within just 2 weeks, she began waking only once per night, and some nights she slept through till morning, something she hadn't experienced in years. Controlling fluid intake before sleep also helps the body produce more vasopressin, a natural hormone that reduces urine production at night. The result is deeper sleep and waking up, feeling lighter, clearer, and more refreshed. For those taking medications that cause thirst or living with diabetes, speak with your doctor about shifting fluid intake to earlier in the day. If you're worried about late-night thirst, keep a small bottle by your bedside and use it only when truly needed. As Mrs. Margaret joyfully put it, "One small change, skipping that cup of tea, brought back my entire night's rest. Now, each morning, I feel like I've regained 10 years of my life." This small shift could be your first step toward renewed vitality too. Habit 2. The silent influence of late dinners and natural diuretics. Let me introduce you to Mr. Charles, a lively 68-year-old who shares a cozy home with his beloved wife in the picturesque city of Portland, nestled in the northwestern part of the USA. For many years, nocturia had left him utterly drained, his days often spent in a gentle doze, comfortably settled in a shaded chair in his backyard. He never once suspected that the evening vegetable dish, lovingly prepared by his grandchildren, brimming with refreshing cucumber, juicy tomato, and fragrant herbs, or that seemingly innocent, soothing cup of green tea after dinner, were subtly but consistently making his nights restless. You see, many foods we lovingly embrace as healthy, such as the hydrating watermelon, the crisp asparagus, the refreshing celery, the invigorating coffee, the comforting chocolate, and even the revered green tea, are in fact natural diuretics. When consumed after, say, 4 p.m., they gently yet effectively encourage your kidneys and bladder into a state of heightened activity throughout the night. Mr. Charles, in his previous routine, would typically enjoy his dinner around 8:30 p.m., often engaging in light, heartfelt conversation with his wife. Their meal would then be followed by that familiar warm cup of green tea before he prepared for bed. Without fail, every single night, he would find himself waking at 1 a.m., then again at 3:30 a.m., and once more at 5:30 a.m. "I genuinely believed it was just normal for someone my age," he confessed, a hint of resignation in his voice. "But I perpetually felt like a ghost during the day, merely drifting, dull, never fully present." Upon his doctor's advice, Mr. Charles made 2 changes. He shifted his dinner to 6 p.m. and completely avoided diuretic foods and drinks after 4 p.m. Just 10 days later, he woke only once during the night. Within 3 weeks, he could sleep uninterrupted for 6 straight hours. Aligning dinner time with the body's natural circadian rhythm gave his system enough time to digest and rest before sleep. It reduced bladder strain, improved digestion, and even helped ease acid reflux. Nutrient absorption also improved. Many, like Mr. Charles, reported waking up feeling fresher, lighter, and with a clearer mind. "I thought I had to live with it forever," Mr. Charles shared. But moving dinner earlier and skipping that cup of tea changed everything. Sometimes it only takes one simple change to rediscover the joy of a full night's rest. And maybe this could be your next step too. Habit 3. The just-in-case habit and bladder retraining. In many cherished Western households, particularly among our elders, the ritual of making a trip to the bathroom right before bed is often viewed as a wise, almost sacred tradition, meticulously passed down through generations. It feels undeniably sensible, doesn't it, to empty your bladder just in case, to ensure an undisturbed night's sleep. But what if, my dear friends, this deeply well-intentioned ritual is, in its quiet way, actually training your body into a restless and fragmented sleep cycle? Consider the heartfelt story of Mrs. Martha Jenkins, a vibrant 74-year-old widow from Denver who lives a joyful life with her granddaughter. Each evening, she would lovingly conclude her day with a warm glass of milk, a few contemplative pages from her favorite novel, and of course, that habitual, just-in-case, bathroom visit. "I didn't genuinely feel the urge," she admitted with a gentle smile, "but I truly believed it would help me sleep more soundly." And yet, despite her best intentions, she consistently found herself waking up at least 3 times every single night. Upon seeking guidance from Dr. Andrew White, a highly respected urologist practicing in Chicago, she was met with a surprising revelation. Her long-standing routine might very well be part of the problem. Dr. White explained, with great clarity and compassion, that the bladder is a remarkable organ, essentially a muscle, and like any muscle, it learns habits. When you consistently empty your bladder, even when it's far from full, it begins to send premature urgency signals to your brain. This can happen with a mere 100 to 150 milliliters of urine, rather than its natural capacity of 300 to 500 milliliters. The unfortunate consequence? Frequent awakenings for what amounts to barely a trickle. With Dr. White's supportive guidance, Mrs. Martha embarked on a gentle, yet powerful journey of bladder retraining. She embraced what he affectionately called the true urge principle. Only visit the toilet when there is an undeniable, genuine physiological need. Instead of anxiously anticipating the urge to arrive, she would consciously engage in calming activities. She would read a few more pages of her beloved novel, engage in a brief period of gentle meditation, or simply listen to soothing classical music for 15 to 20 minutes. Gradually, patiently, her bladder began to relearn its natural rhythm, learning to wait until it was truly full before signaling for release. Within a matter of weeks, she was experiencing the profound luxury of sleeping uninterrupted for 5 to 6 hours, a precious gift she hadn't received in years. With a beaming smile, she shared, "I never once realized I was unknowingly creating my own problem. Now, I trust my body so much more. I wake up each morning feeling utterly energized, just like I did in my younger days." Of course, my dear friends, if you are currently taking diuretics or are managing a specific medical condition, it is always prudent to engage in a conversation with your doctor before making any significant changes to your habits. And for those who may have limited mobility, keeping a small bottle conveniently by your bedside is perfectly acceptable. The key, however, is to consciously avoid reaching for it purely out of habit. Trust that your remarkable body inherently knows when it truly needs to go. Sometimes, letting go of just one small, ingrained habit can, quite literally, restore an entire night's precious sleep, just as it did so beautifully for Mrs. Martha. Habit 4. The overlooked power of sleeping posture and pillow choice. When the topic of nocturia arises, most people don't immediately consider the seemingly mundane details of their sleeping posture or the type of pillow they use. Yet in many Western households, particularly among our esteemed elders, sleep posture and pillow choices are often driven by deeply ingrained habits rather than a conscious pursuit of optimal health. Take Mr. Arthur Davis, a 71-year-old retired mathematics teacher from San Diego. For over 30 years, he slept on his stomach, believing it kept his heartbeat calm. But after years of severe nocturia, he consulted a sleep specialist in Los Angeles. The first surprising insight: his sleep posture was silently pressuring his bladder. Sleeping on the stomach, or any position that compresses the abdomen, can directly stress the bladder. This pressure can create a false signal, prompting the body to wake up even when the bladder isn't full. Moreover, using a pillow that's too high or too flat can disrupt blood circulation. During the day, poor circulation may cause fluid to accumulate in the legs, only to return to the bloodstream at night, making the kidneys work harder while you're trying to sleep. Mr. Davis changed his sleeping posture. He began lying on his left side with a pillow between his knees. and used a properly sized pillow under his head to keep his neck aligned with his spine. Within just 2 weeks, he reported sleeping for 5 to 6 continuous hours without waking. Science supports this shift. Sleeping on the left side with a pillow between the legs helps align the spine, eases pressure on the bladder, supports circulation, reduces back pain, and promotes deeper rest. With a gentle smile, Mr. Davis shared, "I never imagined it was just the way I was lying down. Now I wake up not only without the urge to rush to the bathroom, but also with less back stiffness and a lighter feeling overall. I only wish I had known this decades ago." Give your body a chance to rest the right way. Perhaps that peaceful night you've been waiting for is just one good posture away. Habit 5. The subtle influence of room temperature and sleepwear. In many Western households, elders meticulously pay attention to their cherished bedtime rituals. A soothing pinch of lavender oil, a steaming herbal concoction, or a quiet, contemplative moment with warm milk. Yet one of the most frequently overlooked factors in achieving truly restorative sleep might well be the very environment we choose to sleep in and the garments we choose to wear during our slumber. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Helen Miller, a delightful 69-year-old retired school teacher from the bustling city of Miami. For years, she habitually slept in a sealed room, devoid of any fan, and dressed in thick flannel pajamas even during the sweltering summer months. She firmly believed that this enveloping warmth helped her gently drift into slumber. However, each night, she would awaken 4 or 5 times, drenched in perspiration, feeling restless and utterly fatigued. Experts at the Sleep Health Institute in Seattle later illuminated the reason behind her struggles, explaining that improper room temperature and unsuitable sleepwear profoundly disrupt the body's delicate internal heat balance. When the ambient temperature becomes excessively warm, your body intelligently increases blood circulation in an effort to cool itself down, inadvertently passing more fluid through your kidneys. This silent, intrinsic mechanism leads to an increased production of urine during the night, and consequently more frequent trips to the bathroom. Following their insightful advice, Mrs. Helen made a series of simple yet profoundly meaningful changes. She thoughtfully switched to breathable cotton nightwear, introduced a small fan to ensure gentle airflow, and subtly opened her window a crack to invite in the refreshing night breeze. In a mere week, her nighttime awakenings remarkably dropped by half. By the 3rd week, she joyfully shared, "I always blamed my age, but it turns out it was simply my pajamas and the heat." Many Western elders are accustomed to layering up at night for warmth, a deeply ingrained habit. However, numerous studies suggest that excessive insulation can inadvertently interrupt restful sleep. The ideal sleeping temperature for truly deep and restorative rest hovers around a comfortable 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, 64 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Loose, airy fabrics, such as cotton or linen, beautifully assist your body in regulating its temperature without causing excessive sweating. For those prone to feeling a chill, a gentle suggestion: layering 2 or 3 light garments and utilizing a breathable blanket is often more effective than trapping heat under heavy, restrictive clothing. Overheating not only triggers sweating, but can also disrupt vital hormonal rhythms that are absolutely essential for achieving profound, uninterrupted sleep. Mrs. Helen beamed with delight as she recounted, "Who would have ever thought that the fabric I wore and the air in my room would let me sleep like a child again?" These days, she wakes up feeling wonderfully fresher, her body feels noticeably lighter, and her mood has undeniably lifted. Sometimes, my dear friends, the smallest adjustments in our immediate environment can truly usher in the greatest comfort and the most profound rest. A cooler room and gentler fabrics might very well be the peaceful night you have long been seeking. May I pose a heartfelt question to you, dear elder? What has consistently awakened you 2 or 3 times each night for all these years? You may have, understandably, believed it was simply age catching up with you, perhaps a bladder that was becoming a little weaker. But now, my friends, we know better. With just 5 simple yet incredibly powerful habit changes, your nights can truly transform into periods of profound peace once again. From thoughtfully positioning your pillow in the right way, to enjoying a lighter, earlier dinner, or even mindfully sipping a glass of water at precisely the right moment. These might sound like minor details, yet in truth, they are nothing short of golden keys, unlocking the door to rejuvenating sleep. Why complicate your remarkable body with harsh, often unnecessary solutions when natural, gentle changes can usher in such immense relief and profound healing? In homes across the bustling metropolis of London, the vibrant heart of New York, and even in charming, smaller towns like Santa Fe, countless elders have already begun to embrace these shifts in their long-held habits. And, to their joyous surprise, they are discovering that they no longer wake up with that same urgent need to urinate. Their sleep now stretches through the night, a beautiful, unbroken expanse. They rise feeling lighter, wonderfully refreshed, and ready to greet the morning with boundless energy and a gentle, knowing smile. We're so glad you joined us today. If something touched your heart or sparked a new idea, share it in the comments. We'd really love to hear from you. Your words mean a lot to us and help keep this channel growing. If this video is helpful for you, please give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and don't hesitate to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to spending time with you again in the next video.